Back again. We keep finding our way back to this mic, man. Sit your podcast down. Reek and G are here. Your boy McFly. You want to start off, G? You got a very interesting background. I have to say. I want to know kind of your thoughts around what you have back there. It's like a farm animal next to one LeBron James.
I'm just celebrating a champion.
Okay, so can you explain to me how the farm animal there is helping you celebrate?
Yeah, he this champion happens to be the greatest NBA Finals player of 2020.
Oh. Oh, you're in full troll mode. Okay. Full troll mode. Did y'all see? So I'm actually in regards to one LeBron James, I am actually pretty disgusted. And I think it's gonna come off as like hate. Oh, you just hate LeBron James because he's so good. No, I don't hate him. This man is on everyone's top 10 list. He won the title, and we kind of saw this coming. I mean, Miami didn't have enough for him. If he would have lost, it'd have been like, don't ever come to me about being a top 5 ever again. But he won, cool. You know, Finals MVP, 3 teams, all these great shit. He had the fucking nerve to go on a press conference or right after the game and say, we want our respect.
We just want our respect. Rob wants his respect. Coach Vogel wants his respect. Our organization wants their respect. Laker Nation wants their respect. And I want my damn respect too.
The fuck are you talking about? What the?
They said he was too old.
No. Who said that?
Said they.
Yeah, it's always a fucking they, because everyone I ever see is always slobbing his knob. So I don't want to hear that shit. Please.
They said after last year he couldn't do it. They said he needed more roids.
You know what? He probably did need more roids, but you know what he got instead? A top 5 player in the league. That was pretty good. That adds up for lack of roids. So I mean, I couldn't believe he said that. I couldn't believe he said we want our respect. The Laker Nation wants their respect. You mean the most winningest franchise in NBA history? They want more respect than being the greatest of all time already.
I'm tied to the greatest.
I'm tied.
I'm in troll mode, so I gotta say tied.
I'm just saying, this is why.
Even though Boston's most of their championships came when guys drunk beers on the way to the game and smoked cigarettes.
That's actually a fact. That's a fact. It makes you realize why. I mean, I should hate Laker fans. I like Kobe as well. I let him rock, but I hate Laker fans, and I hate people like LeBron because you already get all the respect. I don't hate LeBron. He's a great player. I want my respect. Your respect of already being called a top 10 player, top 5 player for most people.
We know that everybody been saying that, but as an individual and amongst all the hate, you hear the hate more than you hear the praise. No matter how much you get praise.
I disagree with that also.
I don't think that. I think you hear the hate. You hear more hate for him than I think he wants to hear, because he wants to hear I'm amazing every day. But I think in reality, he's praised a lot. Go on TV and find, outside of Skip Bayless and maybe one other guy, who's not just look at Nick Young. Look at Shannon Sharp. Look at these guys that come on. Look at Swagoo on Get Up this morning. Fucking stupid ass football player ass motherfucker. Don't ever talk about basketball again. Here's the greatest because shut up. I don't care what you have to say. But these dudes, Kendrick Perkins, Ryan Windhorst, it does not stop There is a list of people who literally line up to bend the knee to the king. A line of people, and he worries about the three that are just like, well, I mean, you're great, but I think Jordan and maybe Kareem are better. Blasphemy! How dare you? Like, nah, man, I'm tired of his ass. I'm happy he
Whether
won, but
whether it's right or wrong, we know that's what LeBron means, right? He's trying to be politically correct when he says it. He literally wants people to say he's up there with Jordan, right? Like,
didn't say it. Say I
but
want to be
he
considered
won't.
Jordan,
He
so we can
can't.
tell you that you're not. No, he can. He's of that personality type to say it. Well, I'm not worried. I'm the best in the world. He's that personality to say it. Just say it, so I can tell you, fuck you, no. Just because I'm not gonna do that. I'm
He
just
has
not.
said it before. LeBron has called himself the greatest before.
Yes,
Yeah.
he has.
Yeah, he has.
Don't play funny, G.
Yeah.
Don't
He
play
said
funny.
when they was, I don't know what he was on, something with Maverick and what's the other dude?
Shop?
It wasn't the shop. It was something else. I think it was on ESPN. He was with Maverick and Rich Paul, I think, and they were going over 2016 championship.
Oh, I remember this. He was like, yeah.
Right.
After that, I was like, yo, I'm the greatest.
I'm the greatest.
Who doesn't say that? I say that when I hit a jumper into my garbage can.
Jordan doesn't say that. Kareem
Kobe
doesn't
never
say
said that.
Kobe doesn't say that.
They
Plenty of
probably
greats
should.
never say that. They're just like, nah, eras, and the young boys are doing great right now, and I'm happy. No one says that but LeBron.
At home, they dogging everybody. You know that.
Who? Yeah,
Oh.
at home in they house. They not doing it on national television. That's the point I'm making. Whether or not he thinks it's real or not, I mean, they're not
if
saying
somebody,
it.
yeah, if somebody told Mike, "Hey, LeBron's better," you probably laugh.
He would.
Like he laughed at Gary Payton.
I think Gary Payton, like, he took that point so.
He said he laughed at Gary. Gary Payton said we would stop you. We'll still laugh.
Still laugh. He's still laugh to this day. You can tell him like that right now. He gonna be like, "What Gary Payton say?" And he's stupid. I don't care. I'm just, dude. Well, LeBron James. Well,
Yeah, my thing is, because here's the thing about LeBron fans, they spend a lot of their, because the thing is, I don't have a problem with the Laker fans, because I know diehard Laker fans, and they wouldn't have cared as long as the Lakers win. They don't care who's on the team. They're like Knicks. They're like Knicks fans.
that's true. They don't. They want to win. I'll give them that. Although they had a fuck enough, they can share some.
It's the LeBron fans that travel wherever he goes, and those are the annoying fans that people end up arguing with, because it's not so much LeBron, even though LeBron does some stuff to make you not like him, but it's mostly his fans. So the biggest issue with his fans is, for one, they give him all the credit and then none of the blame. So I've literally seen people say that LeBron carried Anthony Davis all the way to this championship.
Did you see what Greeny, before Greeny had on that idiot Swagoo and Stephen A? I'm gonna keep calling him that because Swagoo. Shut up. He said in his opening he single-handedly resurrected the Lakers. I was like, did this dude play 1-on-5?
Right.
Does AD not exist? Like,
or last year they didn't make the playoffs,
so that didn't count.
Yeah,
that year was just a we were playing around that year.
They call that his injury season, but he didn't sit out the whole year. He played enough games to make the playoffs.
Yeah, he just said, "I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore."
No, and he just knew, like, oh, we're not good enough.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have enough. I mean, I'll give him that.
People forget that he said playoff mode activated.
Oh, we ain't forget.
A lot of people forgot. His fans forgot until I bring it up to him. And then, and that's the thing. Like, it gets irritating when you want to give the man too much credit when it comes to winning, and no credit when it comes to losing. It's like, which one is it?
Nah, he gets credit for getting there. And they say, well, he was never favored. I'm like, look at some of the teams he's had. Are you trying to tell me, as Reek's getting looks, I love, you trying to tell me he shouldn't
Jerry
have
West
won?
get credit for getting there.
No, he's not in no one's GOAT conversation. What are you talking about? He's in no one's GOAT
No, they
conversation.
were talking
and that's
about
the
him
thing,
being on the
like,
Mount Rushmore. They were talking about it all day today.
But here's the thing: when you talk about basketball players and actually basketball people, besides the players that actually hate Mike, they don't really put him that high. It's mostly the media that goes with the narrative. Oh, he's second behind Jordan.
You're right.
Yeah.
Players do not put players do, especially players. I mean, obviously older players at this point because they're the ones that are giving their opinions. Older players do not put him there. Remember, they even talked about it. You know, Kenny Smith had him not in the top 5 or top 4. I think Jalen Rose didn't have him in the top 4. A lot of players just don't have him. A lot of former players don't have him that high. And I think maybe their shots towards them, like, give me my respect. Although, I mean, I don't know if this title does enough for me. In the GOAT conversation, does it change for you guys right now? Is he higher now because he got this title?
No.
No.
And the other thing is, it's like, and here's the other thing: what all-time great anything has ever said, "I demand my respect"?
Respect is given, is earned.
You know,
Okay, to be fair, we're in the era of social media, and boys is different now.
Just say he weak. Just say he weak.
Yeah.
Because say he's weak, I'll be like, fine, he just weak. But say he's weak.
Because you can, the thing is with LeBron, especially people that have seen, like the younger generation, I get it, because you haven't really seen Mike. You haven't even really seen Kobe or Duncan or anybody else.
Not Fro Kobe. Not early Duncan, not early Shaq. You've seen them at the end of their careers. It's different.
Right. So they don't know what true dominance looks like. So it's easy for them to go with LeBron because, like, okay, he's in the finals every year, but they're not paying attention to who he's playing to get there. So it's like, all right, because when I argue with them, I say, okay, so if he's so outmatched, he's supposed to be the greatest, yet he's outmatched every time he's in the finals. So that means the competition was just that weak in the East, and it's really, his team really ain't that good. Or you're telling me he's the greatest and he just can't do it by himself. Like, which one is it? It's a contradiction. So it's like you either take away saying his finals appearances are overrated, or are you trying to say, like, okay, what are you trying to say? His team wasn't that good. You can't be the greatest and just be outmatched all those times. All your losses, you're saying we never favored.
I mean, at the end of the day, he still beat the team on the West a couple of times, a handful of times.
Okay, here's the thing. You can always say he has 4 championships now. 2 of them came in shortened season. That's a fact.
Yep.
That is a fact. This season, literally a pandemic hit and he had 4 or 5 months off.
And we also said this earlier. Whoever won this year was gonna be an asterisk.
No.
Before he won it, we said this. I said it. I'm like, I don't care who wins. It's gonna be like, right. All right, it's a title, but we know this was not normal circumstances.
Right.
It didn't have the normal competition. It was different, 100%.
Right. And the OKC one, lockout season. The other 2 took 7 games and 2 of the greatest shots in NBA history. So you could sit there and try to act like, and this is what we talk about when we see dominance. Michael Jordan, there wasn't these extra circumstances that we can point to say why he won. There was no suspensions to say he won. There was no shortened season. There wasn't no pandemic. There was no greatest shot of all time in the finals. It's none of that. And they don't really grasp it. You know what I mean? So it's like players that we know, like, okay, this team and this player was clearly the best. They talk about Michael Jordan's first round losses. Okay, after he got over that hurdle, he never looked back. He didn't lose the finals again. He never lost the final. After he got past that hurdle first round, he got to the finals.
You know what a part of it is
all
too?
wins.
a part of it's not really fair to the. I'll give this to LeBron. A part of it's not fair. You can't beat that '90s nostalgia. It's not fair. I
Get it for
get
a lot
that
of genres too.
You said what?
You can say that for a lot of like genres and
You're right.
groups.
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
like
you can.
like hip hop. You can't in reality. If we take hip hop for example, Biggie probably shouldn't be top 2. He ain't made enough albums. If you want to call it for what it is, he probably shouldn't be. But can you say that shit? No, it's Biggie. He's going to be top 2, top 1 in most people for a lot of people, right? You can't put him at 3 or 4 for who? No,
Right,
no one's
same
going to
with-
accept that shit. It's just you can't. It's just not going to happen. So I feel like that's a part of what the issue is here. Also, there's something to be said about when you get there, you the big dog, and you win. There's something to be said about when I get here, I'm staying here. And again, for LeBron, in terms of that GOAT conversation, he's won so many. He's won at multiple teams. Because as soon as it was looking like I may have a year or two where I'm not going to be great, he said, F it, I'm out. That's literally what every time it was like, all right, man, we're going to have to make some things happen and, retool or make it. He was like, nah, I ain't here for that shit. Yo, Miami, what's up? And then when Miami for the part, he was just like, yo, Cleveland, y'all got some good talent, right? What's up?
Right.
Y'all done? Now I want to go chill in the LA sun. Go give me AD, though. All right,
and that's
like every time.
Right, and that's the thing that people don't realize. And on top of that, what his fans do, which I also don't like, is they downplay everybody he plays with. So all of a sudden, like I saw this today, Scottie Pippen was better than any player that LeBron played with. Now, if anybody knows basketball, Scottie Pippen was a good, perfect complement to Michael Jordan. But Scottie Pippen ain't a better player than Wade. He ain't a better player than Anthony Davis. It's like, are you?
You could
like, why are
debate
you
based
trying-
on what he does that Kyrie could potentially be better. You could debate
Right.
that. I mean, in terms of like in terms of getting buckets, because in the finals, it's about who can get you a bucket. You saw the Warriors go and get Durant because they needed somebody to get them a bucket. I'm just saying, like that's why Jordan to me, well, I think LeBron could get maybe 5. I think Magic was saying if he gets to 5, maybe. In terms of the greatest of all the time, I'm like, I need somebody who this game is about putting the ball in the net. Who's getting me a bucket? Not who stayed around forever, not who's had great longevity. It's right now, it's game 6. Can you get me a bucket? Can you send us home as champions? That's the GOAT to me. And for me in that conversation, he's still, I guess you still can give him top 10. You can argue top 5, top 4, but I don't see him cracking that Mount Rushmore. So I would say 5 at the highest for me, and I don't think he's in my top 5. Not hate, there's other guys I'd rather have than him.
It's thing like, you don't want to take away, because I'm one of the people that was high on LeBron. I was talking about how great he is before, people realized it. But at the same time, I can't sit there and act like he's on a level of dominance with Mike and Kobe and Kareem, and you know what I mean? He just doesn't give you that. But in this era, it's easily to be confused if you haven't seen anything else. It's like it's different when you're like you guys that like the younger era, when their greatest player has to slay the dragon. When we came up, the greatest player is the dragon. You know what I mean? Like
that's real.
You know what I mean? Like
That's
it's completely, we coming from 2 different sides. You know what I mean? Like it was like the greatest player, it's like you who's gonna beat him? That's the monster. He kept Hall of Famers from getting championships. LeBron doesn't keep anybody from getting anything.
Look at the Hall of Famers that played in his era. I mean, obviously Charles, GP. Karl Malone, like Stockton. Like there's this guy Ewing. Like there's guys. He was just like, y'all ain't getting shit.
They're literally guys that are top 3 all time in their positions.
Yes, easily.
You know what I mean? And they're sitting there trying to downplay. Like I watched highlights of them when Bulls played Phoenix. I'm like, yo, Phoenix, talent-wise, can play now. That team.
They were a
And
good
Mike,
squad. They were a solid squad. Like, shit.
Right. They were loaded. And, like, they would fit perfectly in this era because they shot threes. They played a little bit of small ball. They was better in every position besides Mike's and Scotty's. Everywhere else, all Phoenix. Bench, rest of starters, everything was all Phoenix. Mike had to average like 40 that series because he had to average like 40 that series because they only won by average like 2 points for this. You know what I mean? So the points he was averaging, like they needed and they had to do it. That's greatness. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's a difference. You know, and the other thing that pisses me off, you know, not to stay on it, but you notice how LeBron fans say Kevin Durant rings don't count.
That I still don't get that.
Like, you know what I mean?
He went to that team and he was easily the best player on those teams.
Right. But all the circumstances that took for LeBron to win, and now Kevin Durant rings don't count. You know what I mean? Like, it's stuff like that that makes you just like not like him or his fan base, because LeBron also never comes out to debunk anything that's being said.
No.
You know what I mean? So every
style.
narrative that comes out about, oh, his teammates are trash and all this other stuff, he never comes out and goes against that. He never says,
that is
okay,
true.
You know what I mean?
I don't see that enough. There's not enough
he
of
never
like
does
that.
it.
Nah,
he never does it. He never says, you know, I wouldn't be here without my teammates. You've heard Mike say, you know, I wouldn't have won without Scotty. You never hear LeBron saying that about any teammates.
No,
when they got best record in the West, what did he say? They said I couldn't do it.
It's stuff like that, man. It's stuff like that I cannot. That's where like the LeBron, what he does bothers me. When he says stuff like that, you know, I told you when I got here, I was going to, it's just like, I hear it. It's a lot of you. I hear you. You have had Hall of Fame teammates on every championship team you've had. Every single one. You've had multiple Hall of Famers. Dude.
Multiple All-Stars.
I mean, come on, dude. Are we serious with this? Let me ask you this. You said it didn't change for you. So what is your list? G, I'm going to start with you. What's your list? You got a GOAT next to this, man. What's your list? And does it change? And can he get to Jordan? Can he surpass Jordan?
My list. This is a personal list. I'm not actually taking things in consideration that I probably should be.
You should probably do that.
This is who I enjoyed watching. So I'm not going to include people that I didn't get the chance to watch.
Okay. Continue.
I would probably go with Mike. I would probably go with Kobe. After that, I would probably have to go Bron.
Ooh, okay. So Bron's 3 for you behind Jordan and Kobe.
After that, I would probably, or if not Bron, I would probably go like Shaq.
I mean, which one? Are you going to go?
Let's put Bron after Shaq.
So
and then Bron 4, and then I got to think about 5.
Interesting. All right, Reek, what's your 4?
Kobe.
Yeah, Bell in here. Bell gonna drop his 4. Or is it 4 Kobe's? That's how the list goes.
No, that's Reek. That's Reek answer.
But since I'm being objective here, I can't do 4 Kobe's. Because normally it'd be like 24 Kobe, 8 Kobe, 4 Kobe.
Yeah, that's fair.
Black Mamba. But anyway,
Black Mamba.
So no order. I would probably go Mike, Kobe, Magic, and Kareem. And I had to go back and watch Kareem and watch Magic, because they got like full games on YouTube. So
yeah,
when I looked at like Kareem, like young Kareem, Milwaukee Buck Kareem,
he's a monster.
Yeah, it's like he's 7'2", he's athletic, he has an unstoppable shot, he played both ends, he can move his feet. And it's like literally every team he goes on was instant title contender. So it's
no one affected winning.
Reek.
Like LeBron, though.
You forgetting one thing. You forgetting one thing about Reek.
What?
He was getting a double team at 40.
Yeah, he was getting double teamed at 40. Yeah. So, Kareem is up there in the Magic. Just without Magic, you really don't have a LeBron, just the way they play. You know what I mean? And that's something that people just need to pay attention to. They can't say stuff like nobody affects the game like LeBron does. And Magic did the same thing. Larry Bird affected the game the same way. So it's like you can't just say that. You know what I mean? But that'll be my 4.
That's a tough one. MJ number 1. It's MJ number 1, Kareem number 2. Kareem number 2. I want to say Kobe. It's Kobe, just because of what he did, and
I like it.
And Magic, and Magic.
Well, guys, all of your answers would have pissed off LeBron.
I mean, Can I say this? And I want to be wholehearted because I'm tough on LeBron, but Magic really has something similar to LeBron. Like he was in the finals damn near every year.
I mean, he's a similar player. He's a huge point guard, not a great shooter, good vision.
Right. But there's the other thing. If finals matter so much, how come Jerry West ain't higher?
Yeah, Jerry West been in what, 8?
Yeah, he's like 1-8 or
1-7.
He's been 1-7, 1-8.
Appearances don't matter until the 2000s, guys.
Or better yet, Wilt.
Right, same with Wilt.
Because Wilt got the numbers. Wilt averaged 50.
We'll have numbers that will never be
25.
And didn't win MVP that year.
That's some shit.
Right. 50 and 25.
Who was that, G?
It's a guy who can only play every other game.
I need my apology.
Oh, he said he needed his apology. Okay, well,
my apology.
Are you? You said if you did it again.
I'm not
ready, Vel.
I'm not
ready.
Don't be that guy.
He did it again.
Nice.
No. Oh no.
You did it twice, Vel. You gotta give him credit.
You got it. No,
stop. Know what?
Just come on with it. If I boot you out this group, come on.
Know what? I'll say it. He's a Captain America when he's fighting Winter Soldier.
No. Stop all this qualifying shit.
Right, Reek?
He's Bucky.
He's Bucky.
Y'all really?
No. What? No, I'll give it the Jimmy hat. Jimmy hat.
Yeah, you just disrespect is ridiculous.
Nah.
He's ridiculous.
Nah, he's not A tier to me. He's just not A tier. But
you said you would say it.
I can't.
But you said it.
All right, he's A tier. Jimmy had is A tier. Jimmy Butler is an A tier basketball player.
A minus.
Yeah, he's A minus.
I give him A minus after he died in the last game.
No, but
Jimmy can't give it to you every game. He's a every other game guy.
That's what I keep
Game
saying.
7. If they got to Game 7, the way Jimmy was playing, he probably would have pulled it out. But he needed a break in between.
Right.
Yo, and the funny thing was, it's not like the one thing I can't say about Jimmy. It wasn't like he was like he wasn't like fake tired. He was literally
this nigga was dead.
Yeah, it was like I wanted to give him an IV at halftime. Like, yo, just give him an IV and a nap. Like,
yeah.
He balled though. He the thing is gritty. He may, in my opinion, he might need to, get a more of a consistent way to score. Because I think that's what really drove him to be so tired, because he really didn't have no easy buckets due to his lack of jump shot and things like that. Everything had to be more so a hard.
No moves.
What you mean? He was mid range and he was dribble pull up to death.
For him to exert that amount of energy, either he needed to work on his conditioning more, or those moves just ain't that easy for him.
Yeah, because you got to think, even when he was doing that, it seemed like he's like one of those guys that always need to feel you.
I don't know. I'll have to look at the tapes, but I feel like he's exerting way more energy on defense than any other superstar, and that is probably causing his lack of offense.
But he didn't have to. He wasn't guarding LeBron the whole game.
I think their defense it requires everybody to be hyperactive.
Yeah, I can see that because those white boys on that team, you talk about Christmas trees.
Yeah, man. They a whole holiday.
Yeah, no
They just 13 days of Christmas.
Duncan Robinson and what
Hero.
They definitely weren't stopping nobody.
Hero. No, I think they should have played. Honestly, I think they should have played Kelly a little more though.
Maybe
they should have.
Because Bam was stinking it up.
Bam is an F-level player.
No, don't go that far.
Oh shit.
He's not an F.
No, he got to do that. We got to hear him out. We got to hear him out.
Listen, Bam, he has to redeem himself with me. I have never seen that type of garbage from an all-star.
Wow.
And he dropped almost every pass. He was missing dunks, layups, shooting ridiculous shots. And I'm wondering why, Spo, why is he in the game still? He was not producing. He was the best player on the Lakers. He was.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, are you
Bam
giving the credit
You know
that
what?
he's
I'll
MVP
say Bam played really, really bad. Those last remember we said this. Well, he can't play any worse game 6. I mean game 4 or whatever game that you're like, well, he didn't even play good. He played worse.
Game 5. Yeah, the game they won. Yeah, I'm sitting there thinking like, okay, that's the bottom. Like there's no way unless you want to go into the abyss, there ain't nowhere you can go from here that gets lower. He went there. He ended up in China. He dug so deep in that dirt.
He was
you rolling out cartoon logic? I love it.
Like it was bad.
We're not buying it.
I think he was hurt. I think he was hurt.
He was hurt.
I mean, like he was hurt.
Listen, look.
He had a neck injury.
He was missing.
That's tough.
But he played well the first game when he got back.
He had that cortisone.
When he, like, what did your neck got to do with you catching the ball?
You ever had a hurt neck before?
It's rough, man.
It's rough.
It's rough, but it ain't got nothing to do with you catching. And if you can't play that much, go sit your ass down. Don't be sitting out there.
He's trying to get through it.
No, if you can't make a layup, then obviously you ain't helping.
That's fair.
You missing dunks, wide open dunks.
Wide open dunks too.
Like, are you serious?
Well,
Kelly Olynyk can't even jump, and he wouldn't have missed those.
Yeah, he was playing, but also I think, to Greg's points, along with Jimmy, their offense is a grinded out offense. Everything is like dribble, handoff. It's
a team offense. It's a team offense. It's a team offense, which is why those guys are the role players can produce when they're having a good game. They can produce more because everybody's touching the ball and always in a rhythm, except for Bam.
I know you were talking about that. You think that's why the ratings are so bad for the NBA?
I think it's here's my thing about the NBA. I think the biggest issues with the NBA, I think style of play is one thing because we grew up watching 90s and early 2000s, right? So the NBA back then marketed, even though we knew the stars on the team, you still marketed the players more in the team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Still
so like
rivalries.
Right. So like even if you're not a Knicks fan, Oakley, Mason, Starks, you know what I mean? You're a Bulls fan, Mike, Scotty, Horace Grant, or Judd Bushler, like the team. In this era, it's so based on the individual that it's hard to buy in. So if like that star ain't playing, nobody's watching. So like Milwaukee Bucks, everything is Giannis. People probably can't even tell you who their starting 5 is.
I can't.
Yeah, I can't either, actually.
You know what I mean?
I think about it.
When you think about it, it's like No. You know what I mean? People probably couldn't tell you Miami's Heat starting 5, and they just watched them.
See, the thing is, I think, just like you said, Reek, that's a good point. It was a blend of stars with teams because now, I mean, it's a lot of players, like even with LeBron, to bring him up, they say, well, aren't you a Heat fan? No, I'm a Heat at fan. Wherever he at.
Wherever
and
he
them
at.
fans, by the way, they have no, like, you ain't a real fan. If you a fan of a one guy, wherever he goes, like, that's just weak.
Right, and that's what hurts. And that's what I think the
Markets.
NBA has to – right, that's what the NBA has to do to try to kind of turn it around is you can't market so many – because people are just going to go where their favorite player goes.
Yeah.
So it's like there's no team thing. So, like, if your favorite player gets knocked out the playoffs, are you watching the playoffs anymore? No.
And to go on your point, if you market teams more, that means you can just show more than 3 teams because, like, look at the teams that's on constant television. And I'm saying this respectfully. The Knicks stink, and they're still on TV. Because the Celtics, even when they're good or bad, they're still on TV because Lakers, even the Bulls, because they actually have a fan. Not because they large markets, but because they have, like, a real fan base.
Knicks for clicks, man. Why do you think ESPN had to talk track every other week talking about, man, the Knicks, they suck, right?
Right. Always sending shots.
Like, yo, like.
No, they do suck, though.
They
Don't
do.
be disrespectful.
They
do,
suck.
but
come on. It's not disrespect. It's truthful. It's honest.
But what other team that's
fine.
this bad gets talked about this much?
Exactly.
No one cares if Milwaukee ain't good.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
No one cares if OKC ain't good or New Orleans ain't ever been good. No one cares.
That's what I'm saying. They need to market a little bit more of the teams and not being funny. Put more other people on TV instead of the same people every week.
Right. What they do with Golden State is how they should market the teams. Because they market Golden State as a team. They kind of and they did it and they didn't even do it purposely. They only did it to make it seem like LeBron is going up against an unstoppable force. So they marketed the team to make it seem like, okay, this is the evil empire, the dynasty. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't just Steph.
You know, that's crazy. They did make them like the evil empire. This is a group of, like, outside of Draymond, the nicest dudes in the NBA.
Right.
They just balling hard and just like, you're trying to take down LeBron. And just like, really? Like,
right.
You ever seen them
dudes talk? Dudes.
Yeah, a bunch of light-skinned dudes. They all teamed up together to take down LeBron.
The Bills really lost 16-42.
We ain't talking
they trash. It's all good.
Don't
worry about it.
We ain't talking
You'll be all right.
We ain't talking about
you know.
No,
but yeah, that's what they did. So people watch Golden State to watch Golden State. If Steph didn't play or Clay didn't play, people still watch Golden State.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it was time, especially when Kevin Durant was there, when Steph wasn't playing because he was hurt, or Clay was out because he hurt, and you still watch them play. KD ain't playing tonight. You still watch them play.
It's partially the players too, because the players allow media to give them too much. They gave media too much power in telling them where they should go, and their career is not qualified as great if they don't win a championship. And usually, like the Kevin Durant's and players like him moving teams because they want to chase a championship. And not saying he's not
LeBron first.
Well, LeBron and any
LeBron literally began that.
Yeah, but
he's a goat of switching teams. He's a goat of that.
Right. In his prime, not like because there was always people that ring chase when they were old.
Right, when they knew they didn't have it no more. I'm 40, you 41. Let's try it one more time.
And they're dumb because they didn't get their ring.
Right.
Right.
I mean, LeBron's smart. He's not the GOAT. That's all.
So
how much of the ratings? Okay, so back to the ratings being down, right? So how much of it is due to injury, and how much of it is also due to the NBA's receptive nature to the social issues?
I think it's a big issue with the social issues as well.
I
know people are like, man, I'm not watching that. Like, I don't want to watch politics on my sport.
I think people, I mean, maybe for some people, that sounds stupid because if you've been watching, they ain't talking about none of that shit. They're talking about basketball. So if you think that, you stupid and they weren't your target audience anyway. We know who they targeted when they come on. They got all the black commercials, the black everything. We know who they trying to get. We know. If you with it, you with it. It's just what it is.
I was about to say that we didn't hear any black anything during the Lakers win. Talk about using your platform. They didn't use it for anything but themselves.
They mentioned the fact that they were going to use their platform, though.
Right. They said they were, but did they?
During the whole championship celebration, they talked about using their platform.
For what?
Did they?
I didn't say they used it. I said they talked about it.
So they talked about what they could have done. Oh, okay. You know, I forgot it was about that until I think Jay Williams on like Get Up was like, you know, first and foremost, let's say their names. You know what I mean? This is what the season was about. I was just like, oh shit, was it? I was like, I thought it was about getting that ring for the Bron and company. I thought it was about that because that's all I've heard about the last 48 hours. It's about
it's true. It's true. LeBron said, "I want my respect." He didn't say
Breonna Taylor.
Let's lock up the killers of Breonna Taylor.
He didn't say nothing. He was like, "Give me my damn respect."
Yo,
give Laker Nation their respect. He didn't say nothing about that other shit.
He didn't mention Kobe.
They did. The interviewers, they mentioned this. Okay,
he mentioned Kobe.
Did LeBron mention Kobe?
He didn't mention Kobe, which I thought he was going to do that.
Like, they wore the Mamba jerseys. That's like you can't.
They lost in the Mamba jerseys, man.
Wasn't AD wearing Kobe shoes?
In the words of Bob, just because you put the jersey on doesn't mean you get the Mamba mentality. Doesn't come with the jersey.
Doesn't come with the jersey.
They were all wearing Kobe's.
So. Yeah, I like LeBron, but like let's just keep it a buck. He about him. He's about LeBron, which is fine. I mean,
it's capitalism. It's all good.
No, it is. I mean, you just can't convince me of other shit because I don't believe you.
LeBron has mastered the business of basketball.
Absolutely.
Maybe.
No, not maybe. 100%.
No, he's mastered.
There's no one that's better than him except maybe Jordan because of just longevity, but he'll beat her at some point.
That was Jordan with Nike. That was Jordan with Nike.
He a billionaire. I'm gonna give it to him first. I hear what you're saying because of billionaire. He get it first. Now, will LeBron like to become one? Sure.
No, LeBron's a billionaire as soon as he retires.
I mean, I don't know if it works like that.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
No, I think not literally. Not literally.
It's a foregone conclusion.
Not literally.
Yes, I would say so.
He's going within 5 years. I think he's going to be a billionaire.
Yeah, Space Jam about to drop. That's why.
Excuse me.
That's gonna be I am not ready for that shit.
Space Jam is gonna make them lose money.
Space Jam 2.
Coming to America. Amazon brought coming to America for $125.
Hey, listen, here's the thing. LeBron, like, I don't even think he's gonna be a billionaire within 4 or 5 years. He'll be a billionaire like Kanye's a billionaire. Like, even though the reports came out that he's nowhere near a billionaire.
Well, it's all the valuation and if somebody, I'm like, if somebody came and bought your shit for $3 billion, you'd be worth $3 billion. I'm like, would somebody come do that?
No,
it's probably like a combination of like projected value of.
Oh, it's valuation plus like assets like this. If it's sold at top dollar today, it would potentially. It's all conjecture, but whatever.
Yeah, like I'll see, like, because LeBron, you know, eventually
his Nike contract $1 billion.
Not like, I mean, over time. It's not like
over time.
Years. But no, he'll be a billionaire. I mean, he's smart. He's got a good business sense. I mean, no one's denying that or taking that from him 100%.
Yeah, technically, I'm a millionaire.
He follows Mike in a lot of steps.
Yeah,
absolutely. He said that last night, and he admitted that. Matter of fact, when they asked him, and I know what y'all gonna say, that's not his real answer. That's his politically correct answer. But when they asked him, he definitely said, I looked up to Mike. I wanted to be like Mike. Everything I did is because of Mike. He gives him flowers. So stop acting like LeBron.
But he didn't call him the GOAT.
Well,
I don't even think that. I think what?
He not supposed to.
He's not supposed to what?
He not supposed to call him the GOAT if he believe he the GOAT.
I mean,
well, he's basically saying that if I'm doing everything after him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I like deep down, I don't think LeBron really believes he's the greatest, but you know, sometimes it's like
He
Lil.
questioned that man beliefs.
Yeah, it's
I
like
don't think he even believe it.
it's like Lil Wayne when he says the great. Like, do you really believe that, Wayne?
No, I think no. I think when Wayne said that shit, he felt it in his bones.
Yeah, at the time.
I mean, at the time, 08, 09, when he said it, I'm the greatest. He felt that shit.
Well, we know he was under some other
influences. Oh, of course, out of his mind, 100%.
Yeah,
but he meant that shit though. Greatest rapper living. All right.
Anybody notice LeBron trying to do calling his mother on the ground, trying to act like it was the same thing Michael did with his dad?
Yo, honestly,
here we go.
That's a reach. That's a reach, man. That's a reach. That's a reach, man.
Yo, put the do-rag.
Honestly, I can't do that.
It was a lot because you hear what he was saying, whatever, right? This ain't nothing like what you had to go through. It was like kind of forced and kind of weird.
What? Time out. Time out.
You didn't see it, Bill?
He said something like...
I saw him FaceTiming his mom.
Apparently,
laying on the floor.
Yeah, on the ground.
Apparently the words, he was like, this ain't nothing like what you had to go through with me or whatever. Like, it was weird.
Very scripted and planned.
It was weird.
Yeah, that's scripted. That's not what you're talking about.
Don't tell my man how to celebrate, man. He celebrated how
come on,
I mean, he can, but it's weird. It's just weird. That's all I'm saying.
Did he read the book?
No, he ain't read that book.
Planned. I gotta hit the floor about my mom because she's not here in the bubble with me. Grow up.
Dude,
you married, man.
My parents ain't came to none of my games ever.
LeBron is 36, talking about how hard it is his mother ain't there.
He's been rich 20 years now.
That's a fact. They keep playing that. He's been rich for 20 years. He's been rich for 20 years. His life ain't been nothing like that shit. I mean, he went through something, but damn, 20 years ago, shit.
I'll tell you, anybody knows basketball, the deep inside, the other side of basketball, in high school and all that stuff, his mother ain't want for anything in 20 years.
Yeah. As soon as he made ESPN as a junior.
Before that.
Yeah, before that. But as soon as he made it ESPN.
He was on the cover as a sophomore of Sports Illustrated.
15.
Wait, didn't he get like a Bentley or a Beamer or some shit like
Hummer.
that?
How about
a tricked
how about
out
this?
Hummer at like 18, couldn't even drive this shit yet? Like some crazy shit?
How about this? LeBron was so good. His friends got scholarships to his high school.
That shit's crazy.
Like, what's the other two got full rides to the high school because he was so good.
To the college?
No, to the high school, St. Mary, St. Vincent. His crew.
I'm talking about his crew going to college. They got scholarships to college.
Oh,
little Drew Joyce got a full ride
to Cleveland State, right? But the one boy could play.
Bron made him better.
No, the one boy could play. The one he didn't get along with. If you ever watched the
he was the one he could play. He was a D1 player.
Yeah,
but
he played overseas. He played overseas.
Right. The other ones weren't.
Yeah. The other dude was a football player, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Vel, here I got it for you. I wanted to pull this up for you. So this is article. Let's see. I had to leave the locker room. They're going crazy in there right now. I had to get away. I'm calling you. I love you, James said, as captured by several NBA reporters on social media. Mm-hmm. You're the reason why I'm able to do this, Mom. You don't understand. 16 years old, you bringing a little expletive boy into the world. James was sprawled out on the floor outside the Lakers locker room, smoking a cigar in one hand and his phone in the other.
All right, Rick, I apologize.
Yeah,
come on, Mom. James said,
"What's wrong?
Everything you've been through, everything I had seen, there's nothing that can stop me. This shit is nothing compared to the shit you had to go through. You just happen to do this shit in front of cameras. It's shit like this that you bring it up. They're gonna be like, what are you talking to his mom? Yo, honestly, dude, shut the fuck up.
Who cares?
That's all made up bullshit. I'm just saying it's made up bullshit.
Very scripted.
You do what you do. You get you get your moment in the sun. You won.
He's a scripted player. He don't got no moves. It's clear. We already know this. Who cares?
I was about to say that everything it matches his game. G, you
Yeah, like
because
if he just like
No,
everything he
Does
does
it match?
is
Does it match his championships?
come on, man.
all right. I'm not gonna go that far, but I will.
Come on,
I
You
will.
know, because you know what they say. You can only play who's in front of you, but what they forget to tell you is they can control who they put in front of you.
Oh shit!
No, I'm not going that far because we all know the Lakers cheated the Kings. That one.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Paige Stojakovic air balls and
What about
Chris
the game
Webber
before
choking.
that?
Hold on, Val. Keep going, Val. I got my
What about
battle
the game
ad
before that?
What about that game before that?
No.
Huh?
I mean, when Kobe and Shaq pulled him through.
No.
I mean, that game?
When the whole front line was in foul trouble.
Shouldn't have fouled him.
Yes.
Nobody touched him. Yo,
Talking
see?
about.
See?
Talking about.
Yo, Chris Webber had like 4 fouls in 2 quarters, and he's not even a defensive guy.
Right?
Samaki
He got two while he
He's
was
the
sitting on the
tough
bench.
So, see, you hear this
Samaki
guy?
Walker's a tough cover.
Samaki Walker's a tough. Samaki Walker and Robert Horry are just some beasts down there, right?
Yeah, for Webber.
Yeah. What's the next topic? I'm done talking about
I mean, you mentioned battle rap. We can go there if you want.
Yeah, we can go there.
I think.
this. Oh yeah. For
I'm
sure.
not
I
sure
got
if
a lot
y'all.
of questions.
Yo, first off, if you haven't watched this, people at home, please go watch this shit.
No, I'm not watching.
No, you
Nah,
gotta
I
watch
think you
it.
gotta watch
You
it
should-
though.
you gotta watch it.
No.
No, I'm
You
not
have
watching
got
it. I
to
saw
watch
it like
this.
everywhere.
You have to watch it. You have to watch
Oh
it.
my goodness, this shit had me dying. Yo.
And I will say this: the way it came on, I was like, okay, we might be going somewhere with this because
Hell
Charlie Clips
nah,
came
you
on.
ain't think that.
I did because
No.
Charlie came in kind of hard because he came in like from the woke black folk perspective.
Rick, this was more scripted than them LeBron championships.
Listen, it's battle rap. They write their rhymes.
Rick, we know how they rap.
I would say DNA was bad.
We know how they rap.
I know.
Because you know why? Because DNA had to give he had to be on the other side of the argument,
Right.
And you can't say
Right.
that shit cool. So he was
Right.
like,
That's what I'm saying.
Yo, Biden and Harris have a plan for us. It was just
Right.
like, what, man?
Right. DNA sounded bad. Like, cause Clips, you still felt like
Clips was like, all right. It felt like, all right, I see where you
Yeah.
going. It works. You
it
did
still
your
felt like
PSA.
Clips was rapping.
It felt like
DNA
they didn't
sounded
really want to
like
do this, but
after
the
school
bag was
special.
right.
The bag was definitely right.
It felt like they
Bag
didn't want to
was
do this, but the bag was
definitely
right.
For sure. I would have took that bag.
I take that bag 100.
What do you need me to say?
ABC. It rhymes with 3. Vote for me.
Yeah, that's what DNA sounded.
Honestly, it was. You know what it is? I'll give them this. You got to give Biden and Harris this. That shit was. It was a train wreck, but damn it, man, they tried. It was creative. They didn't just come on
It was
Hot 97 and be like, "Yo, of course, vote for me. I'm a Democrat." They were like, "Let me reach you. Let me deep in your culture. Here's something that ain't even as mainstream as it would have been. Battle rap. Oh shit. URL. Oh shit. Like, I'll admit the fact that they knew who these people were, or they had somebody on their team probably in their 30s.
Yeah.
That was like, yo, what about battle rap? And Biden was like, what's that? Like,
So
that shit, I have to give it to him. It's funny.
So can we go to the next topic?
But that's the thing.
I'm
Like,
not watching that.
you should, man.
Nah.
You're being a sucker. Watch it.
Yeah,
I'm not watching that.
they was
I
dropping
would
gems.
watch it.
They was dropping gems. They third eye was up.
What they should have did,
Third eye was open.
yeah. What they should have did instead of get a DNA, because DNA looks like an after-school special. They should.
Yo,
They should've-
that's funny.
They should have called Lux
Yes.
or
Yes.
somebody like that.
Lux, that's
would've
on
been-
target for Lux. If Lux did that
Right.
shit in the battle, you'd be like, all right, Lux on that shit again. But like, he would have made it sound better. I think DNA
Right.
it felt forced. Clips was like, all right, like he been thinking about this shit. Your boy was
Yeah.
just like,
DNA sounded every bit of the corny rap that white people put together for black kids to watch. Like, hey, let's put it in, just make it in some rhyme. Maybe they'll get it. Like DNA sounded like every bit of that.
I mean, like I said, he sounded bad.
Y'all really want me to watch this?
Yeah.
Oh, it's gold. And then at the end of it, you're gonna get the picture of Biden and Harris smiling.
They did put some
They
stuff.
stamped it.
They did put.
It's real?
No, it's not fake.
Yeah.
No, it's real shit.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
We thought it was fake.
It's like it's
on Joe Biden's channel.
It's on the Joe Biden's channel.
It's on his channel.
It's literally has at the end they have like the stamp like we approve the message and shit of them to like Biden and Harris.
Smiling.
Yeah, it's real.
They was happy with it.
Yeah. That is a great look for URL. I'll say that in clips in DNA.
It's you know what it is. I'll give them this. It was a train wreck, but it doesn't hurt them.
They had a bet.
No.
It was like we're gonna write each other's rhymes, so we're gonna see which one's worse.
Nothing hurts them, right? Like nothing. Just this whole
the whole ADOS movement of like they both shitty, just vote down ballot, that hurts them. The whole like they both suck, so don't vote for either one, that hurts them. But this shit, an attempt to reach over, I'm not mad about it.
What did Trump say? What if you got to lose?
That was his whole shit. I mean, and we saw we had to lose a fucking lot. But here we are. Like you lost a fucking lot of shit. Yeah, but I mean,
I'm excited for this in 4 years when they get Cassidy on here.
That's your man, G. Act like that's not your man.
I am.
You want to talk about
how
bad this would have been if Cassidy got on here?
Yeah, Cassidy would have been worse.
Bars is bad.
The problem?
Ask about me.
He would have been a problem.
He might have cost Biden 1 million votes by himself.
I'm like, this how you brought in this shit? I'm going for Trump.
Cassidy?
Bad raps.
Acidy?
No. And listen, Cassidy, just as bad as he is as a rapper, as a beat maker, he's even worse.
He is. Luckily, there's no beat behind this.
G, how you feel about that as a fellow beat maker about Cassidy's beats?
The bars can make any beat.
Are you being serious?
Cassidy looks like he spent a lot of time in bars.
Yo,
there's
bars,
a lot of trash beats.
I think we've seen that
bars made better.
Bars don't make beats better.
I think there are a lot of trash beats that you will listen to because the bars is nice.
You know what?
Like Nas? I
was about to say, because you listen to Nas.
If you listen to Nas, you think that shit. them fire bars, like, that song hot now. All right, G. I hear you.
I gotta open your mind. Man.
Nah, I ain't gonna do that shit.
I don't need to.
I'm good.
I gotta open up the other genres.
Now listen to other genres.
Yeah, just not from Nas. when I want a reggae fix, I'm not going to. What does Nas have on this? Nah, I'm good. Thanks.
Yeah. Nah, I'm not. Nah, know what? I'm not going to go there with Nas. Nas is a great lyricist, a great rapper. He produced some of the greatest music of all time.
He's not top five.
Are we protecting black women, or is that we doing that?
We can go there if you want. Did y'all even read the op-ed piece?
No.
First off, New York Times makes you pay for shit.
I let Choke No Joke read it for me today because he did a little YouTube thing on it. So he read it and definitely sounded like Yo, G, I'm
loving it today. I mean, it's on it today. I love it.
Definitely, whoever wrote the Black Lives Matter mission statement probably wrote this.
I mean, it was well written. I'll give it was well written.
That's how I know she didn't write it.
She's in college.
She is cool, man.
For what though?
Supposed to mean?
What she go to school
doesn't mean
for?
She's good at it. Plenty of people in college that can't write.
They ain't no writing in that shit. Anyways, she's not writing. If you said she went for English, I'd be like, maybe okay. Fuck out of here. But no,
you hear her interviews. Does she look like she writes like that?
Yeah, I thought it was well written. So she's good to have somebody pen it for her, which is fine. I think her message was fine. Yeah, I think her message was fine. I think she makes a good point. Ghostwriter for a speech for her op-ed piece. She had a ghostwriter. Yo, that's what we do in rap. She ghostwriters. You see your boy Tory got charged.
Yeah.
He's still acting like life regular.
Yo, I'm telling you, he either really did, it's really like some mystery we don't know, or he crazy as shit.
I don't think, and this might be a hot take.
Uh-oh. Whoa. Uh-oh. Let me sit back. What's your hot take?
Reading the thing or listening to what was being written that she said, the more she talks, the more believable Tori's side of the story sounds, because her story keeps changing. So in the thing she said, in the piece she wrote, or whoever wrote it, that she was not in a relationship with him.
I thought that was weird too.
Right. She also wrote that, I was a victim of violence by a man who shot me twice. I
thought it was one.
You see what I'm saying? You see how the story keeps changing now.
I think,
and here's the other thing that doesn't help her, because the way she wrote it, or whoever wrote it, made it seem like this was a random attack by a man. Because when you're saying I wasn't in a relationship with him and I tried to walk away and he shot me twice, like that doesn't sound anything like what really happened. And if that happened, why did you get back in the car with him? Like, why are you getting back in the car?
She was protecting him. She was protecting him.
From what? If they're not together, why does she need to need to protect them if they're not together?
Because
I mean, they were obviously, whether they were in a relationship or not, it seemed like they were messing around. Maybe she just didn't want to qualify it as a relationship.
Let me just be clear. The truth is going to eventually come out, or some version of it, of what really happened. It's not going to ever be the full thing, but I think, and it's the same thing with, let's just use something similar, but even though it was no guns involved, like the Rihanna and Chris Brown, how it was a volatile relationship, and Rihanna ended up getting back with Chris Brown. You remember back day, she ended up doing that, and she was talking about how she loved him and all this other stuff. But she both said we were young, and not excusing anything Chris Brown did, but it was more than just, oh, Chris Brown just jumped on stuff and started, hitting me. I'm sure it was something that led up to that. And Megan has been known to hit other men, like her ex-boyfriend said.
Well, Moneybag?
No,
she had another boyfriend that said that she was abusive.
Right.
I think it's not fair to bring up all of that. I think she made a point about them not being protected and not being believed, because I feel there's a lot of, push towards that. Her story doesn't sound 100% like it's some of the details seem a little hazy. Right. I think for me though, the gist of what she said has been essentially the same. I was shot. He kind of confirms that, your back was turned to me. I think the reason why I have to stick with her side of the story, at least until this point, number one, he got charged, which means the DA, again, I'm not a lawyer, felt they had enough to charge him of assault or whatever. So they had enough to go on, apparently, from what they're saying and how they've approached the case. Secondly, while her side of the story has some holes in it, let's say, Tory said fucking nothing that makes sense. Nothing. He just said, I didn't do it. Illuminati told me. It's on me. I got my masters. They want to get me. Like, that's not a good argument. That sounds like a guy that has no proof. So let's blame it on some ridiculous conspiracy theory that could be true. But if the Illuminati is out to get you and the labels are out to get you, nigga, you got it. Because you ain't about to get out this shit. If they want you gone, you pretty much gonna be gone. So you better have like eyewitness, video evidence that you didn't do what they are at least saying you did, or you're done. So I think you have to at least say, okay, she makes a point. They should probably be a bit more protected. Because there's a lot of dudes that are like, yo, he ain't do it. Based off a hot album?
No, I mean, and the thing is, because I've been saying, every time we touch on time, I felt like both sides were not telling the entire truth. Like both sides are omitting things to make themselves look better. You know what I mean?
That's
but
true.
you know, at the same time, you know, you got a lot of guys that, because I think just for black men, just historically, we're automatically guilty every time something happens. So historically, you know, you get people upset saying, you know, protect black women and believe black women, all the other stuff. But at the same time, it's hard for a lot of black men to automatically do that, being given our history and how much we've been accused of things that we didn't do. So
Black men being falsely accused is a major problem, and it makes you gun shy.
right.
I'll give you that. I get that initial fight against it because you're right. I mean, there's
like,
countless cases of that shit in this
right.
country's history.
You always have, like, most of the time, black men is like, okay, I need to hear more. You know what I mean? Because for me, you know, knowing that type of history, I'm never just going to jump in and automatically believe anybody that accuses a black man. Like, I'm not automatically, okay, this person did this automatically just because somebody says it. You know,
I would be cooler with that. If I saw more of like, yo, you know what? It's gonna play out in court. It looks bad for Tory, but I don't know. I'm seeing way too much he didn't do shit, and that's bothering me. Like, I don't until proven otherwise. I'm gonna be like, all right, you got to protect black women. That's fine.
Right.
Now, if it comes to that she's lying, then fuck her. She should be canceled 100%. All that other shit. But
right, because I can go with, you know, guys saying, okay, let me wait for more information to come out. But, you know, not saying that she's lying. You know what I mean? Because she might not be lying. But at the same time, we don't know what happened. But, you know, you got a lot of people just jumping on one side or the other side automatically, and that's just stupid. You know,
you guys hear me?
That kills me.
Okay.
Yeah, we hear you. That kills me because, again, I'm with Mike. You know, I'm a believer until proven otherwise, just because it'd be pretty hypocritical of me to not, when I want to tell people, you know, we got the Black Lives Matter argument, right? And then people say Blue Lives Matter, and then we're like, well, wait a minute, we don't have to bring up another issue to invalidate this issue, right? So the people that are automatically jumping on the other side kind of seem a little hypocritical to me because they're kind of doing the same thing they're asking everybody else not to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's besides the point. But yeah, I mean, she's not, her or whoever wrote this is not wrong. I agree that somebody of her stature should take this opportunity to call attention to something that maybe she feels passionate about, whether or not, you know, it aligns with what really happened or not. I can get behind it though.
I same here. I feel when it comes to things like that, like it's always good to broadcast what's going on in the world, right? But I also feel, in this case, right? Say hypothetically he didn't do it. You basically tore down another person to build your case, and that's what I'm not a fan of, because I was reading something a couple months ago, and it was about a player who got accused of raping a girl or domestic violence. He ended up doing like 7 years in California, and the girl literally said she lied. It was a young black woman, and she did to a guy who was potentially going to USC, I believe, and this one USC was good. Like,
yeah, they made a movie about that, I think.
Yeah, and all she did was apologize, and that has happened countless times where a star get accused of anything. So I believe in just hearing both sides, because as a black man, I know I'm always one accusation from being shot, going to jail by anybody, but especially a woman.
The only reason why I think that's different is those types of cases, if there's not evidence, it's a little bit different. In this case, if homie had a gun and she at least appears to have been attacked or hurt by said gun of same caliber and the bullets and ballistics match, yeah, I seen fucking Law and Order. If this shit match,
no, he's definitely going to jail.
Like, so that's why I'm like, for that, I'm like,
no, he's going to jail because she won the the
court of public opinion. I got you.
Right, and everybody knows about the case. So you're not going to get an
and they know way more about it than they should. If you think about it, the judges have probably been like, "Yo, shut the f up, stop talking."
He's going to jail because no juror can be impartial. So he's going to jail regardless. So
everyone loves Megan. Everyone loves her. She's the golden child of hip hop. Like
the only thing I'm worried about is I'm a firm believer in you can't be equal. You can't say you want to be equal and then when it's to your benefit, do it. Oh, I'm this. For example.
Whoa. Are you saying like black women can't?
No, I'm saying people, period.
You better qualify that.
No, I'm saying people, period, right? I'm saying people, period. It's just like you can't be super, I'm with the cause. And then soon as somebody offer you some money, you turn around and do something. It's literally like trying to stay as consistent as possible. In this case, she's on video being drunk again around a gun.
Yeah, but whatever with that stuff. I think like for me, I don't want to say it's easy, it's cut and dry, but in the public eye, the movement they pushing right now is protect black women. If I disagree with that, or if I feel like they need to address that a different way, I'm gonna do it behind the scenes. I'm gonna talk to my black women and kind of work with them on what that means and figure it out. But in public, we gotta stay united.
Right? Yeah, you gotta stay on code. I'm all for that. But I'm also not with, because like I said, we always get everybody in this group that's talking. We always get challenged as super predators.
Yeah, we know.
So you don't want to give that stigma because that leads to us getting shot.
But I think what G's saying is that you can't bring it up now.
Yeah,
right now, it's just black women. You can't say it right now. It's about black women. You can't say, well, what about us? And that's the same. Lives matter. Whatever lives matter.
How about it just be about black people instead of trying to separate men?
But it's not the case. Black women.
I get what you're saying.
Black women are important right now.
Yeah, one would think that would
gotta go back to that.
You get what I mean?
Like, right now,
I get it.
The move is protect black women, so let's just get with it.
Yeah,
it helps. It's not like it don't help, right? Like it's also a part of the mission, right? Yeah. So it's like this also moves everything we're trying to do forward.
Right, so, right. But just
it don't hurt nobody not to do it.
But I just feel that in this society that we live in, you're innocent until proven guilty, unless you're a specific cue. So, like. He's been charged. He's been arrested. Let's wait to see before we start crucifying anybody.
We're not crucifying them.
Not y'all. I'm just saying overall.
I just think there's cases that I feel like, let's not rush to conclusions. There's hills to go fight and die on.
No, I'm not fighting on his hill.
This ain't the hill. Ain't the hill to be on.
No,
you a black guy out. If you're a black man and you like, man, listen, justice for Tory.
No.
Put your mic down.
No.
Close your Twitter.
I'm not
let
doing
it go.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it in this case. I'm doing it overall because I know that there's been times where people have been.
I think what Vel's trying to say, like, don't get so caught up in the movement that the other side doesn't get their fair chance to say anything either.
Right.
Because
three sides.
One thing that's happening is like everybody, because nobody's against protect black women. We all support that. We all do that. But at the same time, we can't sit there and say we're being fair by saying we don't even, because of what she said you did, we can't hear nothing you say. And that's what you see a lot of too.
He about to have a trial. And here's the thing. No one's saying that shit. Dude, you heard that album? Everybody bumping that shit. Everybody cancel Tory Lanez. His shit got no push.
First of all,
his album is popping.
Online, you are seeing a lot of people like...
He's too talented. It's the same people that try to cancel R. Kelly. When you have a talent, or better yet, a matter of fact, they just canceled R. Kelly.
He
beat the charges 20 years ago, and
we're going the wrong lane.
No, I'm not going in the wrong way. It's people that's infatuated with the talent.
But you know what's funny?
R. Kelly's guilty though.
Because no,
Yeah, but you know what's funny? You know who kept R. Kelly alive all them years? Black women.
Black women. I wasn't on R. Kelly after.
Right.
No,
it wasn't.
After
It wasn't
Hove
men.
and the cornrow phase, I was done with R. Kelly.
You know who I saw the most saying Tory album was fire? Black women.
Really?
Really?
Interesting. I mean, I honestly, I'll say you this too. As far as Tory, yo, he could be right. He got his masters back, and they came at him with a gun charge. He could be right. I'm not going to tell him he wrong. You have no proof, my guy. So as of right now, I can't really rock with you. But
right,
like,
it's just the whole. Yeah, that's my thing. Either side, because they both annoy me. Because neither one is really fully telling the truth.
They both annoy me.
But it's like it's something.
She's winning the court of public opinion, 100%.
Yeah, she's winning that. She's winning that clearly. But it's still to me like, okay, you can't sit there like make it seem like it's Eddie Murphy and Harlem Nights. Like I don't believe it went down like that.
That's not funny, but every time I think of that shit, that my pig
like,
out.
And now it's like it didn't have, he didn't shoot you once, he shot you twice. Like it's
no, she said that part, didn't she?
No. I remember saying
she said that.
Her story has changed 30 times since this happened.
I mean, either way, if it is Illuminati, it don't matter. She could tell us another story 100 times. It don't matter. He going to jail. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it don't matter. A lot of wild shit happened.
That's
Stuff that wouldn't
that was
matter.
a wild. All I know is that was a wild night for both of them.
Right,
that's a fact.
And a lot of that shit wouldn't matter if they weren't famous. We wouldn't be talking about it. So
no, it'd be
this would be a normal Friday night on Coon Street. Just
you said on Coon Street.
That is an actual street, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if people not from Buffalo know what that is.
Oh shit! Yeah. Hey, get the fuck out of there! Oh shit! Well, that was fun.